One of the greatest repositories of icons in the whole world is St. Catherine's Monastery, Mount Sinai. This place in the Sinai Peninsula is an abode of some of the rare, unique, and ancient icons, be it the icon of the ladder of divine ascent or the mosaic icon of transfiguration. But out of all these icons, there is one icon which is perhaps the most venerated icons, and probably all Orthodox believers are familiar with. To view this icon is a dream for every iconographer. The name of this icon is Christ the Pantocrator, meaning the sustainer of all. Before we read this icon, let me share some interesting facts. This icon is one of the oldest depictions of Christ, coming from around 6th century. This icon was created by using a technique known as encaustic, using hot wax as a medium. Nowadays we use egg yolk and other mediums for painting an icon. Here Christ is wearing a purple robe, which is symbolically used for representing royalty. With his right hand he is blessing, and on his left holding a book, which is probably the Gospel or the Book of Life. Behind Christ there are stars with 8 rays, symbolizing the eschatological digit 8, the 8th day or the Lord's Day. This icon carries an eschatological representation, and Pantocrator icons like this icon represents exclusively the second coming of Christ. Now, the most important feature. One can see that the face of Jesus here is asymmetrical, a purposeful asymmetry. Keeping the second coming of Christ in mind, look at the face of Christ here. When you cover the left side of his face, the right side appears the way he will be seen by those who will be found righteous on that day of judgment, his second coming. Now what will happen when you cover the right side of his face? Now the left side appears the way he will be seen by those condemned on that day of judgment. The idea of the right and the left of Christ, representing Christ as a judge, as a Pantocrator, comes from the New Testament. In Gospel according to Matthew chapter 25 verses 31 to 46, we read, "When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate people one from another as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will put the sheep at his right hand and the goats at the left. Then the king will say to those at the right hand, 'Come, you that are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.' Then he will say to those at his left hand, 'You that are accursed, depart from me into the eternal fire prepared for the devil. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not welcome me. Naked, and you did not give me clothing. Sick and in prison, and you did not visit me.'" Look at this icon as a complete picture now. On the right side of his face, Christ's expression is with a compassionate, merciful feeling. But at the same time, he is the judge. Intimately, the image presents Christ as a God of justice and mercy, both scolding and comforting those who look at him. In this series of Graphe, we are learning about our faith through icons. So do share and subscribe to our YouTube channel.